Hello, my name is Tatyana Pashnyak, and I teach at Wiregrass Range High School. I teach business and technology courses as well as AP computer science courses. The school is located in Wesley Chapel, Florida, Pasco County. It's a suburb of Tampa, Florida. This is going to be my third year teaching this particular school, but it's going to be my 23rd year of teaching. I have 20 years of prior teaching experience. I started a career in education because I have always enjoyed helping people. And one memorable experience that I can remember from the early childhood is helping my younger cousin to learn how to read. She was a year behind me, and so after I finished kindergarten, I was so proud of having been able to learn how to read, and I was enjoying reading the books and going to the library, and I decided to share it with her. And over the course of the summer, I did teach her to read. And then over the years, I had many teachers who have inspired me to continue to pursue the career of education. If I could have any other job, what would it be? Probably being a travel agent. I love to travel and meeting new people and helping people figure out things. So that would be my alternative career. How kids are different now than 30 years ago? I think one of the biggest tragedies is that kids are not as focused as they used to be. And that kind of goes with also the next questions. How is teaching different now than 30 years ago? I think the connection between the two questions is the lack of parental support. Growing up, my parents were heavily involved. It was not optional to do well at school. I was encouraged to do well, and it was instilled in me from the very young age that education opens doors. And my parents always made sure that I was doing well in school. Sadly, over the years, that changed. I think the biggest tragedies in our society is that parents gave up their responsibility of parenting, of making sure their students are pursuing the best possible education, and instead they're focused on other things. And so they send off kids to school and they expect teachers to do everything, and it's just impossible. As teachers, we are good at providing education opportunities, but no matter how hard we try, we cannot replace parents. And so kids are different because of that. They do not have the strong foundation at home, and so they tend to struggle more because they're not focused. And that makes teaching more difficult because it's so disheartening having to pick up the phone and being told by a parent, well, you're the teacher, you figured out my child is not listening to me. I think that's just a tragedy. What would you tell someone right now that is thinking about becoming a teacher? Make sure your heart is in it. If you are going into the field of education because you think you're going to become rich, what happened? You probably end up working second or third job like I have been doing for the past many years because the basic pay is simply not enough. Be prepared to juggle multiple responsibilities because it's expectation of society, and I think that's a pandemic, the current situation, really brought it into the perspective that society is heavily reliant on school to do so many things that it was never intended to be. And I would also tell someone is to look at how they can improve the world by reaching out to one child at a time. And so if that's something that they feel that they would like to attempt, then they should become teachers. Just I would not want them to think that it's financially lucrative, so that it's easy. No, unfortunately, we are often being disrespected, even though teachers probably have some of the biggest hearts in the whole entire world. We carry a lot of the society's problems on our shoulders, and that's what I would tell the current student who wants to major in education and become a teacher. You can make a tremendous difference, but you have to prepare to work very hard. What is one thing you would change to help kids learn better? If I had a magic wand, I would say develop policies that would require parents to be responsible for their students' education. We do have a law right now that requires parents to send their kids to school, but unfortunately, that's all they do. They just send off kids to school and they have no idea what is happening with their child. And so I think it should be required that parents are more involved. And I think also another thing that I would do is to remove the policies that require the standardized education. We know it doesn't work because all kids are different. They cannot learn in the same way. We cannot measure their abilities by the same test. And so until that changes, we'll continue trying to fit very talented kids into the mold where they fail. And again, that kind of goes back to parenting. Once parents realize that they are responsible for their children, then education will change and we'll see tremendous difference. Thank you so much for the opportunity to win earbuds. They will be truly appreciated. I'll be teaching 4 hybrid courses this coming semester. Some kids will be with me and some will be joining from home, and so we'll have to really juggle a lot of noises from different devices, and so having earbuds is going to be absolute necessity. And our budgets have been cut due to all the resources spent on cleaning supplies and protective equipment and so on. And many parents are struggling also if they have not been getting their full paychecks. Many of them have been laid off, and so many people may not be able to purchase the earbuds. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share my heart and also provide the valuable resources to my kids.